Hi, I'm Rebecca Hutchings. I am an emergency room physician at Children's Hospital, and I am also the owner of Live Oak Yoga, a boutique yoga studio on Magazine Street here in New Orleans. And I'm here today to offer up a sequence for your office wellness, where you can do this at your desk or near your desk, not necessarily sitting the entire time. This is something you can do at work. This is also something you can do at home. If you don't have an entire hour or an hour and a half to carve out for your exercise, this is a great under 30 minutes, quick movement and a little bit of a meditation as well, practicing some mindfulness to see if we can cut down on stress in the workplace. So first thing we're going to do is stand up. So let's get ourselves into a nice comfortable standing position. Make sure you've got a little space around you. You want to make sure that you're not going to bang into the wall or your chair or your desk. You definitely don't want to get hurt during this process. And we're just going to start out with a few cleansing breaths. So here we go. We're starting in mountain pose. That's where your big toes are touching, your heels are slightly separated. The sides of your feet are parallel to each other, and you're standing up tall. So first, everybody, let's reach the shoulders up towards the ears. This is where we spend a lot of our day, kind of stressed out, right? So take the shoulders down the back, relax. Give yourself a little shake. Remember to be lighthearted, it's only yoga. So let's inhale, reach the arms up tall. Exhale, bring it down, heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, reach. And exhale. First thing we're going to do is take a stretch at the wall. This is a really great shoulder stretch that I like to do. You don't have to do this as part of an entire practice or workout. This is just something to undo this that we do at our computers all day. So come to the wall, take your arm right at shoulder width. So you're going to be standing, we'll start with this side so you can see. You're going to be standing arm width away from the wall. And then you're going to walk towards the wall and stretch the arm behind you. And you're going to stop when it starts to feel uncomfortable. So I sort of go in increments and see how that feels, pulling the arm behind me. You can stay here for 5 breaths. You can stay here for 30 seconds. You can stay here for a minute. It's really kind of up to you on this one. And then, so we do everything on both sides in yoga. So we're looking for balance. Take the left hand, bring it to the wall, right? And then you're going to walk yourself towards the wall. Just stopping at little increments to make sure you're not going too far, that you're not overstretching, that you're not going to be injuring yourself. The idea is to feel good, not to get hurt. So that's one place to start. The next thing we're going to do is a forward fold using our chair. And this is great if you have a chair on wheels, and I'll show you at the desk too. But you're just going to take your hands on the chair, on the back of the chair, and walk your feet behind you and work on bringing your body down towards horizontal. So you want to be parallel to the floor. You're going to bring your head in line with your spine so the neck is kind of relaxed here. Maybe you tuck your chin just a little bit as you look straight down at the floor. And so you don't even need to be able to touch your toes in yoga. You don't need to be flexible to do yoga. It's all a work in progress. And so this is a lovely stretch that you can do anytime during the day. And so we're going to bring it back to the chair. So let's find a comfortable seat on the chair. Again, this works really well if you have a rolling chair because then you can move around a little bit. But the first thing we're going to do is just some stretches of our side body, so working on the obliques. So we're going to inhale, reach the arms up tall overhead, take your right hand, grab your left wrist. And then you're going to pull that left wrist over to the right side of your body, gazing underneath the left arm here, twisting that body open towards the sky. Remembering to breathe in all of your poses. And in yoga, we inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. A special kind of breathing here we call our Ujjayi breath. And then let's inhale, bring it back to the center. Now you're going to take your left hand, grab your right wrist. And as you exhale, curve to the other side. Twist the body open, shift the gaze up under this lifted arm. Inhale, bring it back to the center. Exhale, let the arms come down. Just pay attention to where your desk is here. All right, the next pose we're going to do is called cat-cow. It's an alternating of an arch and a curve of the spine. And we're going to do a modified version. I'm going to turn my chair a little bit so you can see what's happening. You're going to clasp your hands like a basket and then flip the palms up towards the sky. Reach the arms up towards the sky. And then as you inhale, you're going to reach your arms back behind you. And then as you exhale, you're going to curve the spine in the other direction and sort of as if you were pushing your desk away. And then inhale, reaching up again. Exhaling to push the desk away, pushing away from the desk. So let's do that a couple more times. Inhale. It's all about spinal mobility here. Exhale, curve in the other direction. Inhale. Exhale. Unclasp your hands here. Another version of this pose I can offer you. It's a little less movement. If that felt like too much with the arms over the head, you can take your hands and place them on the fronts of your knees. And then you're going to inhale, arch the back forward, lift the gaze up towards the sky, and then as you exhale, curve the spine in the other direction. Inhale, open the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck the chin in, push towards the back of your chair. And return to your neutral seated position. Try to think about sitting up tall in these poses. So we're going to do something called pigeon pose, but in the chair. So you're going to take your right foot and cross it over your left knee. This may be difficult if you're in a skirt, but it certainly works in my work pants. Also, if you have bad knees, you may just want to skip this pose. Sitting up tall, making sure both hips are even here. And then, as you feel comfortable, you're going to take your your right hand on your right knee and press it down onto that knee to open up the hip here. And remember to breathe. Always remember to breathe. Sometimes when we get ourselves into uncomfortable positions, you start to hold your breath. So the key is to continue that steady inhale and exhale. You're going to find that if you create a breath rhythm, you'll feel more relaxed. Sitting up tall here. And then release. And be mindful, like you can help pull your own foot down and off. And then let's take the left foot and bring it on top of the right knee here. So again, we're going to take the left hand, this time I do mean my left hand, and press it down onto your left knee and open the hip. And as you do so, you can see how your shoulders pull back and you can sit up a little taller as you open up this hip. All right, next pose is eagle pose in a chair. So we're going to start with the right arm underneath, and we'll start with the arms, and then we'll add the legs. And at each step of the way, you can stop if it's not feeling good and just stick with the most comfortable version of this pose. So we're going to take our right arm and bring it underneath, grab our back. Left arm on top, grab your back. So you're giving yourself a little squeeze here, and this is step one for the arms. If this feels good and you feel comfortable, the next step is to open up the forearms, right? So this is the next step for eagle pose. If this feels comfortable, great, we can move on. The next step is going to be to bring the palms together. So you can see here my palms are touching, and then you can work on lifting the elbows. All right, now let's add the legs in. This part is pretty simple. You just take your right leg and cross it over the left. Full expression of this pose, you can't see it here, but I'll describe it, is to hook the foot behind the bottom leg. So your right foot is hooked behind the left leg. So it's like a big cross. See? All right, good. So this is eagle pose. And then if you feel comfortable, you lift the arms and maybe shift your gaze up so you're looking at your thumbs. Bring it all down, and we're going to carefully unwind, fly away bird, and uncross that leg. So we're going to do it on the other side. So we're going to start with the hug. So the left arm goes under this time, the right arm goes on top this time. Ooh, feels good. All right. And then open up the arms. Stop here if that's enough for you, or clasp those palms together, right? So that's the hands. Now we take the left foot, cross the left foot over the right. And you can hook that leg. See, I got my foot hooked underneath. And you find your eagle pose. Then maybe you gaze at your thumbs. Maybe you lift your arms. And reach up. You may find with some of these poses that on the first time that you try it, it's not comfortable. But as you practice it and build your flexibility and strength, it becomes more comfortable. And release, fly away. Whew, stretch it out. Good. All right, now we're going to take a twist. I love how this feels in a chair, and you can do this anytime during the day. So again, this is a 30-minute sequence, but any of these stretches can be taken on their own as a way to just break up your day sitting at a chair, at a desk, at a table, wherever you're sitting. So, sitting nice and comfortable and tall. We're going to reach our arms up tall overhead, and then we're going to twist using the chair. So we're turning to the right, turn, and it doesn't really matter what your chair is like. So I'm going to use this arm, but you can use any type of the arm, and I'm grabbing the back right here. Keep your hips facing forward as much as possible, and use the chair to twist the body. Maybe you shift the gaze behind you. And then turn your gaze forward first, unwind your twist. Let's take that on the other side. So inhale the arms up tall overhead. Exhale, twist. So grabbing the arm of the chair, grabbing the back of the chair. Spin that body around. Shift your gaze behind you. And then unwind with your head to come forward first. Unhook the arms and face forward. We're going to take a twist again. This is a slightly different one. This one's hands in prayer. So the sitting pose like this without the chair is called Utkatasana. And then the twisting version, so we're going to do the twisting Utkatasana. So bring your hands heart center. Inhale, lift the body, and we're going to hook this elbow onto the right knee. So left elbow, right knee. Hook for a twist, right? Push the palms into each other. See how that allows you to spin your chest up towards the sky and breathe. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Always giving yourself a good 3-5 breaths. Really kind of enjoy the pose. And then bring it back, heart center. And we're going to twist in the other direction. So inhale, lift. Exhale, right elbow goes to the left knee. So twist, and then push the palms into each other so that you can revolve the chest up towards the sky. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. And then bring it up. Good. We're going to work on getting into a forward fold. So this is about trying to get to a place where you might be able to touch your toes someday. So doing it in a chair is a really great way to start. So you put your feet out in front of you. Your knees are pretty bent, so it should be nice and relaxed on the hamstring and on the low back. And you just start working your hands down to your feet, right? So this is the starting point, and you can relax your head down for touching the toes. So now we're going to stand up. We're going to do some standing poses because we don't need to be sitting all day long. And then we're going to come back to the desk and do our mindful meditation. So, standing poses. I'm going to move this chair. And you may want to do the same thing in your office to give yourself some space. So first thing we're going to work on again is getting comfortable with touching your toes. And this can be done even in a skirt, particularly because you're up against the wall. You're going to sit back against the wall. And so I give myself a good foot or so, and you can even go further with your feet, like almost 2 feet away from the wall. And then just like we did in the chair, you're going to walk your hands down towards your toes. And you're going to find that at the angle, it allows you to safely work on getting your head towards your shins and your hands towards your toes. And if you practice this, it will get easier over time. So that's a great stretch. Gets the low back, gets the hamstrings. These are all the things that we put a strain on as we sit during the day. I have a great friend who is also a physician, and she said to me that sitting is the new smoking. It's like the way that we destroy our bodies. So I'm always looking for ways to really bring health back into the workplace. So let's start with some simple poses here. We're going to start with a lunge. So the right foot's going to come out in front of the left, and I'll show this from two angles. So right foot comes out in front, left foot comes in back, and you're on that back foot. So the back heel is lifted. You're kind of on your tippy toes like a runner's lunge, and then you're going to bend into that front knee. See if you feel comfortable here. If this is enough for you, stop here. Otherwise, maybe lift the arms up towards the sky, and maybe you sink in a little bit deeper. And I'm going to show what this looks like from the side as well. So again, the right foot comes out in front, the left foot goes behind you, and then reach those arms up towards the sky. The palms face each other in this pose, and we try and keep our shoulders down, right? So look what can happen. I can lift those shoulders up, or I can keep them down, even though I'm still working the arms. All right. So that's our crescent lunge. Let's take it on the other side. So now left foot front, right foot back. This opens up along the front of this back leg here. Reach the arms up towards the sky. Maybe we bend a little deeper, right? See where you can get with this pose. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. And come on out. Next pose is called Warrior Two. This one's a hips open pose. So again, the right foot comes out in front of you. The left foot comes behind you. The left foot is running like this, and the right foot is running like this. So one foot is facing, let's say, towards my door, and the other foot is facing towards this camera. You bend into the front knee, and then you twist the body towards the camera, where that would be. Right arm comes out in front. Here we go. Warrior Two. And then we're going to move with this. Let's inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, lower down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, good. And let's turn to the other side. So I like to just turn my right foot parallel to the left. So now I'm facing straight on towards the camera, and then I'm going to turn the left foot to face in the other direction. So I've given myself this space on the other side. Bend into that front knee. The hips are open, so those hip points are sort of facing sideways. They're not facing straight like this when we were on the lunge. And then extend the arms out into a T. Sink in, right? Here we are. Warrior Two. And then we're going to move with the breath. So inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. And there we go. Coming up. That's pretty much the end of the active part of our sequence. The next thing we're going to do is a guided meditation, a little bit of mindfulness in the work, and you can find a lot of these online.